Coach PJ here. I love the side hustle. And this one is about food, which are two of my favorite things, side hustles and food. Let's take a look at how this young lady earns about $117,000 a year from her side hustle cooking Jamaican food.
I couldn't envision a career in cooking. I didn't see that, hey, you could actually make a living off of your talent. I was always taught get good grades, behave in school, get a degree, get a good job with a pension, and you'll live happily ever after. My name is Helena Faustin. I'm 35 years old. I'm from Freeport, New York. I am a NICU nurse, and my side hustle made $117,000 in 2021.
I'm going to jump in real quick because she said that she thought she had to work for somebody else. Really, really important. That's not how you make money. By working for somebody else is how you have an income, but it's really not how you create wealth. Wealth is about creating a business, creating something out of nothing. And income is when you work for somebody else. Let's see what she does.
Here is callaloo, and this is Jamaica's national dish, ackee and saltfish. As a personal fave, I prefer fried dumpling or festival. And last but not least, we have fried plantain.
In 2018, Helena started sharing food pictures on Instagram with her friends and family. About a year later, she decided to take food blogging more seriously and spent around $700 to officially launch her business.
And that all went to groceries, a ring light, and a tripod. Because you not only have to just buy the food you're going to cook, you also have to buy the props to stage it as well. I said, I am going to turn my kitchen into my studio. So I literally work out of my kitchen in my home.
Not only does Helena manage all aspects of her business, but she also juggles her job as a NICU nurse.
I've been a registered nurse for 12 years now. I work in the ICU, and more specifically, I take care of neonates and infants who were born with congenital heart disease.
Helena earned up to $126,000 a year working as a full-time nurse.
I work 12-hour shifts 13 times a month. Due to the success of my side hustle, now I've been able to scale it back to 8 shifts a month.
She says working during the pandemic was extremely difficult.
The most challenging part was leaving my family. Like, everyone's at home sheltering, and you're literally going out to fight a war. And it was really during that year where I really decided that I have to go even harder with my business. I am first generation Jamaican. I grew up in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, surrounded by a plethora of Caribbean influence.
Helena developed a passion for cooking at a young age. Growing up, her mother often sent her off to buy ingredients like Scotch bonnet, garlic, and browning. At age 15, she was inspired to cook and learned by watching her mother.
My mom, she didn't always have the patience to teach, and it was kind of challenging because they don't cook with measurements. So I would say, how much garlic powder should I put? And she would literally look at me and say, use your judgment. Anyone out there who is a first generation American and are born to parents who are immigrants, we were always raised to crave stability.
Helena pursued a profession in nursing, but her love for Jamaican cuisine didn't stop her from cooking.
My mom is super Jamaican. When I told her I was not going to grad school, I think she aged 10 years. She was like, what do you mean you're not going to, you mean you're not going to grad school and you're going to cook? But when she started seeing the money coming in, then she was like, oh, I think you might be onto something here.
A couple of things that I often notice in the side hustles, and it's very true for this young lady here, is your early childhood shapes some of the things that you look at. It also, your relationship with your parents or what you have experienced as a child does so as well. She mentioned, obviously her heritage really important. Watching her mother cook was important. Learning from her mother, even though her mother wasn't a teacher or good at educating, but to be a part of that cultural experience and the cooking experience with her mom was really important to her. Also mentioned she was kind of going against the grain. She wanted to do something she loved and was passionate about, but she also had a fallback position. She had her nursing degree. She was doing that. It was a means to allow her to do something greater. And that's not uncommon. As you go to school, you get an education, you get a job, but that's not really where your passion lies for creating something. And so having the opportunity to do that on the side and eventually transition into less hours working and more hours creating in your side hustle. But I love that element. She also talked about social media, using that from an Instagram perspective and creating energy around it. And she also talked about investing $700 in this, and not only in the ingredients, but also in how do I make this appealing to folks, whether it's a ring light, whether it's the tripod, the equipment she's using to present what she has. Because it's not just about the products, but it's about the packaging and the marketing as well. So she does a nice job of that. And she looks at it from an investment perspective, as well as it's not excessive. It's a reasonable amount to begin to get the traction she wants to get. Let's keep watching.
Okay, so these are the curries that I have here. I love my Jamaican curries. When I first started this side hustle, I legit was so passionate about seeing my dreams come true that I did not stop. I literally worked every single day that I was not working at the hospital.
Usually, Helena is up at 5 in the morning to get to work. On her days off, she gets her kids ready for school and focuses on her business.
I'm on emails. I'll be looking over contracts. I'm also thinking and brainstorming content ideas. Aside from groceries, I don't really incur a lot of expenses. My equipment is stable. I only need to replace it if it breaks.
She spends around $600 a month on groceries for her business.
Sometimes I go to the grocery store with pure vibes. No list, just vibes. I walk through the aisles and I let the food speak to me. Yes, would you like some oxtail this evening? And I say, oh, let me grab that. Let me grab that, and let me grab that. I pretty much end up spending a ridiculous amount of money on groceries per month. In 2021, my side hustle created 3 streams of income. The first one was from ad revenue. I collected $7,500 from that. The second was from brand collabs, and I made $40,000 off of that. And the most lucrative stream of income was my ebooks, and I made $71,000 off of that.
Helena released 2 ebooks in 2020 and 2021. One has her premium videos and some of her fans, and the other has 15 30-minute lessons. In total, she made about $117,000 from her side hustle in 2021 and says she's just getting started.
June of 2021 was an explosive month for my side hustle. Between some lucrative brand collabs that came through and an amazing Father's Day sale that shattered expectations, we pulled in $25,000 in 1 month.
Helena's biggest brand deal to date brought in $7,000.
You do not have to either sit behind a computer or walk into a traditional 9 to 5 in order to have the life that you want. If you have a talent, harness that talent, learn as much as you can from it, and monetize that thing. I really created this side hustle as a means to take back control of my life. I felt so powerless working during the pandemic. I felt like I was going to work really and truly out of necessity. You have bills to pay, you have mouths to feed, and the work has to go on no matter what. So much of my identity is being a nurse. Part of me can't even envision a life without it, but I really hope that I am getting to a point where I live life on my terms. And if I do want to do something nursing related, then I have that choice. If this story helps someone and says, you know what, I can get up and I can do it. Listen, I did it as a registered nurse working through a pandemic with a husband, a house, and children. So if I did it, you can do it too.
I love her passion for if I did it, you can do it. That she gave you all the reasons that she could have used to say, now's not the time. I can't do it. There's so much going on. I am in a pandemic. I am working in healthcare. I have kids. I have a family. I have a husband. I have all these reasons. And I love the fact that she basically says that you can do it. She also mentions multiple streams of revenue, which is really important because it gives opportunity to kind of expand and play in those different areas. She talked about brand collaboration, she talked about ad revenue, and she talked about her recipe books. But she's looking for ways to have that multiple streams of revenue so that she can ebb and flow in what it is. And when she looks at some of the things that she's doing, especially the e-recipes and recipe books, she's not, once she creates them, then she sells them over and over and over again, and she doesn't have to put any more energy into them. So that's a huge part of where her revenues come from. But she's got the passion, she's got the energy. She did also talk about that she's not afraid of hard work. And that's really, really common among entrepreneurs. They're just not afraid of it. It doesn't intimidate them. They love what they're doing, so they don't mind working. And they don't feel like it's work because they're energized by it. And that's true for anyone who really has a side hustle that they're excited about. So if you're thinking about a side hustle, make sure it's something that you're passionate about, something that you really, really enjoy. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment below. If there's a topic or a video you'd like me to react to, put that in the comments as well. Your business profit. Until next time.